Boset walo wayabelo wagambo ni sunle badigbe ya delebi Casey subudi watibula Casey aba girigele digbe Dangriga garau adiga saragu kate onke lo badig guyera boti to lo hafa ya
boti guyera
sun luyer law wewe fulme kwarga kate
ligi gana diga
yes sir
ma diga tanika ta to garata letters ligi me feidu nuti da me le lida numbers me feidu me da numbers but I lida letters feidu.
Okay. So Boset na bisho fe hon lumbo leba labarenga tida ke labanigi and baba de Boset bulon hagambo ni fume gwa
itele no gunda lo mo ligi na la ba lo just hi record ba lo na record na normal de la na samina lida ubo ne yewu ni ge ubo mo ne yewu no la ni bagare no ge me ha neme dani la escuela hamor también la escuela micho no me naita no lo niede la que le lo va la escuela na ye house manera lo que bela na dio le gada pa na kele ni boy go na chiri bala la stile gada bala lo mabutina magumba diruna
okay
lo ni gana le go ta na sa or na busa na ro na busa de magumba diruna ligi funa boy leda boy ni samina ligi lam ne lebo de my friend una wala na sugo boy la ni bagari ay me ga fembe la nugushi gadibi me luo
okay
ma fenta nugushi
no ability buguchi no bugena subu de rubay de leme yagita ba adiga guyera kate libelira ocha ha yida afaya ha lo buidi indura adiga exchange you know lige na fe
no me adago te me kate get la jogo any tipo la wewe munyega gadibi me lugushi luo nugushi gadiga bo nugushi wo poro da bahino ke wo poto be do no
okay
but I give you a thing yeah I no me sago le get my neighbor la give but me se be me la nugushi facility but mama of not having the fancy lead the log about like if not maybe there the room like a long ligia tiaba young lady no more able had to get take by the toy about tiaba no more no you know what made about time out of the you know what made the no get by down ligia I was sent by lumber my one to buy lumber and take you in the lumber and give you busen mutle bota uta mom mo sai unito abat nagib du ne samina na go ligi me la busu no shi no gi ay mala pay attention na ti lu that time me uta man burbo le se lengo no burbo dago no mun nati you know but subusi lali lo wala pay attention but give it mega la diga la nanu fude lo ina guru la kateme le mabusa mut ligi be le but anyhow maybe ligere dele la chiro akaso fumeni bagari awani da ucha depende ucha again le no ucha le afraid I get the gure le ni de ucha bo aba lichi ba la ga bada ama no sa ba lu ne ni bge la we no yari whole night la yo suari lo no did hama lengu ni samina nu masa podam sa le but de ba maner le waliati ke lawat be de bungi hama liebe mo yuman ay liebe ma hauti ya bel ma pange ariya hana somebody must tell I somebody low giala na the cabinet oh diga na cabinet work that my mistake diga na cabinet oh cabinet hama liebe haut le balen no busen no kama na bago le duro ben ma panta te lo wadro ga to tad no ko mai na tidi I'm making Dia very developed. You get developed in mind alone. Now we're on Adra. Aba naga hani fulanso. Aba nagu no ngapa lenga no sa babu no Adra no. Babu no ababuti no. Aba wad me to. Me get demut la digni labo. Sunkate la digba na digni lum. La silo aba taguchi. Remember tafero. La silo aba kaso. Le neino. Way to boti lo tigia. Kay be malati di ma kwata la barana. Way tahiya.
Okay. Adra.
Adra. Misa leneta. Aba ni ya lugu la bugo. Lo aba maba shiny kasalini. Badi na tali but libari mo. Uri ba na mule. But Julio Lee shiny ligi. Ani de lugu do. But we didn't lida law ni samina luna digi yaba babot. Luma way mo la to Adra. Ilbagi ba na lungo no na arrangement luma laga flash no. You got about exchange. Nema sen ba lish kuno liya ba la flash. Ba maday lumut abana la halungo ni iba ba flash so le need ba la flash muso ga na tabi be Adra euro. Now Adra Nori. Tabi Nori ni. Nu get ya fa ite ba Nori.
Okay.
Get a chat ba Nori. Belo for Nori. Why? I'm an idea and the bus enduro. And they get a melody about Sunday love now. I cut it not no more. See, no more here. That's from nearly about a year. Now look, Olega now. Once even a real. I haul up the boat. Not sure on the boat more. No one well, like a no chat about 11 young man. No, matter of fact. I'm an alu Nori. Let in a basi at Tidon Botti to low ligand up and down and read that denied. About thing most something no mullet yam a way would know. Never to need sugar thing. No more thing about it. He may have sanity. Need do her sandwich. Lishu could be ganole. I'm a letter away with what Larry would no more reggae the way but sugar to a pillar. Simple thing like that. Regular baby sugar to peel air by let go looking about. Well, how to wait about notion now sugar to peel in the middle. Ligi Chilum with Dale. I'll be there with only pilata at Dabigaban. Simple thing.
Wow.
Just get my head half of the pillow. I was sick for nearly a year with that same pain. Wow. We were on the pillar. To have the side we are promoting what we come again. I'm not using it anymore. So, I'm a Larida with the sugar. I'm a near believe on the Dugana go around. I don't know. I meet a new friend in the Aba na hii ni garang. Aba imagine na kalinga la chinsa. Imagine na diga ni garang le. Aba na chicken the first. Aba diga ni beef food no what for me. Like everything, sunkate. Bago me so hene ko tumba diga ni for me. Sagwe lofu da ai ga ba interest sagwe ba diga ni sagwe lofu da gulungo mo. Dei na diga ro garang. Dei na diga ga diga garang. Gwele ga na diga sis garang. Sagwe. Tiamina that and Nori. No one did. Matter of fact, my boss and my boss and the friend only for because agree with it. Especially when you are the leader, agree with it. Look at Chamani. Good. Me Joe Gayo. Joe Ford. I mean, you know that my Joe lady la Chawele. He telling certain the child later must have been the big love day and the child must have bombed in your bed. Gravity. Great. but many ligeti mautan mutu mabusan mutu nautan tu le meriga na 1993 nega tu wayo le nega tu mesebe na meriga imagine mesebe na meriga but na nega sense de na sebe de non harbo non webo na mesebe naga ya mai na lunga bela no digo na chili ligeti meriga dogo be na noi na sando ne ke fruition yen na mesebe nega tu wayo mona han business de naga ya mega wiya ya ay mabasa ba ge tadigi ay get na big drum ya mado wana ge miskide nikatalo mabasa ba ay sa tanori arasa tanori garang alugroma no adawo hana gwenle no one ne go tuna da ta ite ko badu no one de ite ro bashaw ni burule bodo lidam hele yidi na cho hawe tidi bu nai tidi bu nai tiabla tanu bela no gim hep na interested either you know so no one nori want to get back to get agree go to una to tiru merigo lo tisan you know no ya rasa go to na to tiaba asgro maybe bien de maso ave metidi tungo memege roto nori buguri hamgalo leader no ke lo mo sebo la buguri giro ne waiting so itale ni ba no but let it go buguri go to lemende ni dan let's go la bu me gudeme lemen la gramo de boy nungu ci galo ci tati buri be me dan taw nungu ci no nuye me hasu liba luma nushi ligi me gala suita ni da le meta chibo ni gala somos na ron no tu am galaso
yeah
remember ba ile hadani ho la patch patch ho la si ai ni le tu an no maneta chibo lo bani ni me la sawo bina ta chibo guyu le ba ho ga bina fe tamabe da me da na ce bukasu na hasami na da ayyewa tasiru nungu shi no yin buram tere ma nungu shi busan ma ba friend da wani maki ma friend na gilget ya no ayawa gwala ayawa gwana tu wuti la tuma lo tishu norli you know biten wali no mege dale ke lo yin la mutu hise go ge ma hu zongo ahi wala bitu mo nugo chugoto wa no furiyete ge remember nimbros
ya
no mena anti hand they were like that close to one another neighbors were like brothers and sisters maybe to gabus wa bo biduri ya ge mena in my cheeks likewise legally he let tuma woyo tuma wolede leme tiabe arabge gama into mabi mema ata mabi lu tamule leader ngi tamule ibore kasa mege be wogo na mole you know wa melo ata no ata be mabi de lo hashu ni mabi mema muti lia bakabo lugushi Alan Castillo. Remember Alan Castillo? Tamul. Ito that. Tumugel. Ama labih ba. Haiba Jablu Turnefo. He became the former. Aba lomna ta nuchu ke loriba la tibagari yabuga. Loma nuchi. Gafiat mesa lovele. Ma fi ma hago ngi that. Ne habe 90 you have a 90.
Have a 90 so put have a.
Ye me na nuchi tauna suita.
Okay.
Amen la wad hama public work ma quarry. Letele lebi. PD. Sunti kaze li don tiro. Tomo suita. Anu momento woyo. Ayewe. Lemete dan la video ne kati mo se wani la dabaras de gato ti floor ya to buge bati to guli to low the bar si be floor you know that I imagine like it way and the samin there the way and when I look back little the bagger even them her to know shit she was the wife ani hamotli ya te la fu su bayi tu ya ga lu yi you know let me we type have floor yet again lo me dan le se de fiar ta ba ta ke floor talk about bagger they we go metan the floor we want to read la the bars I imagine like in the way that I imagine I kind of have to feel seeing these things the mate the grass no which near logo you know mate the grass I want la day go hay long aba needy aba lidi hay bal ama lona to aba needy lum tuma no sure and I started to do things like go around what he turned for that was something eating them 17 minutes I'm no one with most mama no company in the yard itself they loan laziness captain foot you have a captain foot he was a Canadian and they gave me about it turner
oh
he was yes he was darling I'm a lazy na biocha he wa na dia habitu aba lagu tunu saying tunu tlad gedina di below chalo everybody to nishu udro fresh everybody fish or the other thing I him hudro li me tama nabini first job nabini lama no the lama captain foot every morning 6 no yima fresh fish midday fresh fish in the evening Raboy fresh fish.
Wow.
Fish was there, ma. I heard the tap like off. From there, well, she love a castle. I'm a don't some good follow. Why I didn't get a Buddha follow. I get a follow. And I get to let you love a castle. I'm my day with a nungo, but that's an idiot turner, not than to kiss. Then anywhere I go, I drag along my mother. So you know, need no. They married together there for 2 years. You know everywhere I go. Yeah. That was 1950. Then I know how to change sign. 1950, 1st of October. Exactly. He tell about the way they would do everything. They were married after about so many years. 53 years we lived together.
Wow.
53 years.
I
think the what way. Solve much problem. And ELAR go to Mama Malaysia go out along. And that was my life. I was struggling. He did that, they didn't know that. Lena, afraid I wouldn't agree on something like that would not. Me, one of the kids there, you know. But I was thinking about my children. Begin to have a what I think he said, no, some in a horse, one the loud nay, make it be home. No, she's not going to. I'm a lay, I'm going to take nay, maybe my way here. But I am with the with my laughing home, so decide this was for them. I was building this for them. Nah, so you talk about. Now they miss it. No, they have a what the negative responsibility. How I have Sunday. Begin this is very well. Now the Ragwell and the Bali Bears. Now they have a sense of going to maybe neither with me.
Wow.
You get neither of me. They take a book of in the Hammer NGC. My helmet me who were baggery. Level agree, I go womb. So may have time her. How chat no more so I know how the work it. Let me name who Loma Hayabira here give her Guria no more. But I know, the way how the answer you know Loma mission number Barcelona. You know, Burn mo tuwe ya hunda mo lo. Biya wa tan ko ya ho. Lum o gi lo mo ga ba na bo 19 na ba. Ai song no madan ba. La de mo setendo la escuela. You know. Le wa na dimra hongo to madiga ba ni ka ta buiti ko sagu ha gi. Song no mo te. Bo Phyllis to me gal to Katito. Ni gal from Hopkins man. She's a popular lady again at the education department. Gwen. I call up Gwen Richard. Tia, but who said no? Wala hada. They never got it. Let's call it for me. Let's call it for me. To me, nahi wala naman la fira de la escuela.
Subiri no ya. La diga ita elege na sandiro go nugo.
Okay.
Anuha la escuela suma da hona honya wasani go la escuela. Pero dele hodi la escuela lune ke halfri do la escuela go kia. Uote me watago ma.
Lo haiti e habada.
What yeah.
Maru the hotel habaga the hono. You know. Lead had a suha leader by a water. I'll do that by a water. Less. It is good. Because sheep land ubo lubarogo. Ain't the wood about that will be computer le. Here whatever we are using with men. That been proven by men. It taken a lot out of us. That taken a lot out of us. We don't have no reason anymore. You know, because simply, it's just the mind we see. But to me, I picture something far more than what you're thinking about. Draw the kate bidangi. No put up example no go in those days. Lina me laga badan. Let me now run Sabat community. Just after hurricane. There was some big trees there. Me came my job self. Either big or no? It is self-help.
Self-employed.
No. Like a group of people. They do something for themselves.
Self-help.
So I never got a job. I never made work. All those who were members of this organization, they were working at Pomona.
Okay.
You know. So all what were given to me to work. Between the big trees name. When I go there in the morning with the mind, that with that determination, and talk to her, no.
Wow.
Alone her. With that determination, yes, sir. That's one, yes, sir. I go there with that determination, I'm going to cut it down.
Wow.
But like it is now, since I use chain, sir, brother man, you tell me cut this with the axe, even before you finish, still I don't tired. I don't tired. It taken a lot out of it.
Yeah.
You see, simple change like what, like every morning by computer message around in the computer. What is there for them to think for themselves? They are dependent on the same machine. Yeah? That's what I'm seeing. You see, everything that is given to us by God, brother man, is taken away from us by man. Yeah, but soon lahi ugri when le logo computer. Le lobe la samina logo, ma samina logo. Let me logo computer.
Yeah.
Le nige sao kate wala. I imagine this le apa ni le yabe namule.
Yeah.
Lida gebe kate libele. You know, who are reason lege wada to know that grigi bala buffer. I bagari ba baniga. Yeah. I don't know about Kimeriga. They are such a coward. When the let me have the good damage, I'm a Hibagram. I'm a Hidiramdago. May go by a area after another until there are more purpose. Hidaramdago. Soon the Samina log. Drat or about Kati Bidang. Le Ligi with Bungimu. Basamino Grigi Lale. The men love mine and I give agree. Everything I leave will La Shawa Lega agree.
Yeah. Son katele adigube. Son katele hadigube girigia. Lunege leader of un leader ibagari. Pero la nige gel.
La nige bidai. Nasamina lago.
Yeah.
Ite nasamina lago bi katele namlo. Ama nidi le Miami na lige bura. Mihe ba flase na mo de migi na kemna dangri sekolo dangri. Habdige was. Habdige was. Lehama ya hila ma ewa nungo ma keba milu muti. Uro again mat nadame.
Wow.
3 people working. Tama I don't know how either it's separate any seed le lori ogo. You know my not to get seed le sakna tahu tini tahu in that amount of seed into the hole. 3 men of planting technology and the get to Turia be loti wit nadame ham. I ta Turia lu mosa hamano. That's why this is le failure de l'escola. Ani Arabia nagama mo lumbo the ambassador from Taiwan nagama himbe bina pele logo hogo atimo Taiwanese aya but they were supporting them from there to here to those who they were supported by those who were over there support ani ha yete gelo ya aba na sami no nungu about a year ago nagamo harengu Chinese a million Chinese graduates. I have job madeha ma job. I have a million hagelo graduate ama. Halio bayana. Namal have na sami have a tani go fleso ya. Have a larva me men right on the men the Hagirian. And either what the Lachilamo what in Nika the Lubusa drew. How go binafi gas meet and tati. Abatina. I never look by once and whatever needed chow good look by once. Eat and wine well. Especially leaders home by Yagon.
Okay.
I want some Arab number Arab. Why they came in and this time came over Lego Lemule. I hate to hurry minute and me. Only a guy, only a bagasso, only a cabara. I have bulduso, only a auruha, I have no god. You know? How what do Kasa wala so wadinile at least kehema ha graduate ma date job amam organize ka mahongo yi ya idi arabu you know
mabusa hello hidi arabu yao
biga
mabusa hello hidi ocha yao
lige make a haring with teachers no ahi tama ba test le bidi bata arabu teachers the you tell us that if you don't find the search you go in the bush. You know, I ain't me Haiti, you me tell her friend around. Arab get here. Living with teachers and my haya, and almost here. They are little darling, what you agree. One the way I get chill Balisalura. One of which you do Chetamal, which was by Bispo. I go on the pie Bispo.
No.
Tina guri ceiling duri yidi time gimbiludu lugune gimbilidu alugwa chelu shatama.
Wow. Garifuna.
Garifuna gimbile PC lugu PC gat gimbilu dame lo mudi I me haba mel malu la ladigu suwar
Yeah.
gamile time bahi ba donle man lega gamile mile mehege tagara bale Jite ke muta gara higi elef na ho ami lema hi gara hi only but wage mehege te ordinarily malum bachu hani ganza baduma bisura ama bani ba vive ba kemali da vivele ama ba security lido ubai le labge bai then you press it ba press any Ghana's logo muli waelo ba press any just look ba use that Gabaga malawan. Waga ita magidi. Surprise na nagamu ni mea de mga tugo. Buse hama te Dangriga na hamagidi. Liye ni mea. Ani Corazal na ya na mula lugraya. Ani rinjok na lugraya magidro.
Wow.
aya hi kai na lunga ya magito aya hi shamago na chile de te ya alunga ya magito
Wow.
It is a shame. The name of the president, we know,
Margaret.
The name of the no watch or digging no chapel, looking war with no maggie tire, what they manner was there with no maggie. But she was thinking about what you're thinking about. Oh, the bus run. Chief. I thought that log we were not taking that taking there, double run no, double right, no hide the let's call a gulisi. She planning no man have a bus. For them, no have a bus. Look at Bella, hide had the right hand, hide the let's call it instead of hiding top bicycle. No, they get thing, no. But now, me the concern only Ara. The wheat is making me away. Can't to me. That they have a agree. I go be wrong. Respect the motor me English man and ballistic. How women how my sleeves are how boy ballistic. You know, respect come out me. I gamble me la busa my head on the Louis VD, but they couldn't stop because they need what you're producing. Make him level producer. They couldn't stop us. About limit the money. We are only to stay there for 12 hours. We have been washed. But they can't stop us. They need what they produce. But what they produce, you know? Nothing. Ignorance. Leader man, he didn't go Allah Pusari, Lueda, yeah. It's a head I have a go sweaty. Money super again. So I had a guy on pet morning super. You may sweet the legal home where be young, but this was the thing. We have a flashlight. Low, Dangriga. We had about anything in the mega Dangriga Garifuna. They land a business that would agree and
I will get both about it. I will get Daru
by the flashlight. Yeah, shit. You see, so here, hug let's call it, let's call it. Mamma, can you even Mamma Nagadi Lawut let's call it. Around the Lalbo Grey flash, the Lu Eater Lubola. And let it Gabu, but the Tida was let's call it Guento. I am a gamble, you know, most Hamano. Italy. Nay, well. Abu Helmo Bona, little me about the baby, it's a togada. I look at him, a day I got it. My day by level. Piawara Moton little yaga to look to Yaga Lula Mulea again. Abayano. It the Biagi, I know you got the being I get in the Engu Magadit, no, he a moto logo TV, log company, screen. Mama and Mosso. Balahi Magadel, Bahi Magadel. Inshallah, we soon got it, but soon they'll nigga what I can level. And I feel no bark about it. It's a nigga what I have. Everything they will agree. Program all agree with her. Lemon one day, I'm sure they did the earth so still. It may be like that. Lemon Lola electricity. I imagine that. No more work done. Yeah, so when blackout here, they have no work. You forget about the office when you blackout here, so. They can't do nothing. But before then, when they were using this, I think, well, you go blackout, they could still do the work. Yeah.
So, do you ever want to go Badiga neighbor around?
Oh, like around. Keep a neighbor like around. Nebelo little girl, little girl, lead a hundred by chains. So, we said, me believe me about the Heba, he moved to Harabu, Bahashu, the kind of around him, remember the Howard, how you have Yawara, Hagumar Hano. Letting Yawara miss to flame. Lenny to when you think about Tago to Don, believe me. Tweety, but the Tago was something about the way that depends on the type and no matter I didn't learn the way we will lay. Abar go around with it. And then go with the blue down, no bomb with the never drum. Around with it. But let me, sorry, the belly with you don't hear chinson. Well, for me, I got a good name. They bought the Shilabadala, need the I know no more. I'm a bit in forestry. Kilomay Bunarabo. Limit a recipe. Limit no way away, no. Let your Tarzan. Ligate boss company.
Okay.
Ligate no way have be the report, no. I'm at the needed to a forest department. They give me the authority. He shouldn't try to need I should go away. He did but I miss home. No man would direct get her bashuano. Let me show now. Let me hear the miss home. All right, get her balloon. I'm maybe what you troco. No tidia budo. Tiva troca budoing, the children. No. Toy super. Gafend Mr. John Numa. John Flowers. Let me tell you, Figini.
Figini, yes, man. Hagisa John.
I love one.
Oh, wow.
Love for cancer, man.
Okay.
Love for me. The gate mate in Rugi, but we are in the money at that time. Yes, man. North side one. You know what? I want the man love about that. Our neighbor over pass going from north to south. I have a name in Yaguru. Name in Limo, they have a piano. I don't continue neighbor love what talking of the legal. I just know him to get my bag. Soon as I got my Alacata and I go. Even get a log, you want to get the hammer baby inside. Well, can the chili get up and get in Yamaha, Kaligan only. Even as a leading you, the Kaimar came to Tadao helicopter. But he has little Sagadi grieving. I will leading you. So naturally, Lisago de Timu, log Halele. Could the children Chagataban again the Gawaye? I'll be with you all the time. Children get a Sagato. Mama Tajani, but I'm a lesson that came home by Raul. Niman, my aunt, really? He was done when they are selling a grown log on NATO logo.
Wow.
Ain't the Nagu Lawa Dama Kevin, what do you peg Lungarao? Nita, NATO log Johnny. They gave me window. He was my best friend. So, and I like around like one, but Nori beating my time. Yes, man. How about that?
No, maybe not again.
She beating my time. She make a lot of money there. Oh, yeah, no.
Buitilo, Lovell, Tino, Norida. La Diga, Guanle, and have a leader familia. Tadigi and Gale Badiga, so what in Nicatalog, La Diga Liga Mega Wabe, long, Lassiger, friend, Hamage way, I am.
Ligete yan bin namule, ligete lichu bali kashan flasle no luta na roof down around here. But we sent to get a fire in the law over down.
Oh, wow.
No, Mayawa tite no. Luhuma level logo cate. I eat had to bleed and here. But the fire on him, this been level. No, we thought I had to a good. No map had a buy and bantas. Interesting to me how to get over them. Well, they don't over the Nala, friendly tell Lauro or Jimmy. Get a Jimmy. I have another Jimmy there.
The main argument,
the first from the master out I let it to Tagutu. I'm a thing with Tagutu too. Why what people say? I don't know. I'm going to fire room. But next week, I'm a fire room immediately.
Wow.
Italy.
Wow.
We know that just I been up in Buganda, na samina to rahato to give to rahato to habat NGC. Martha. Na busi bat nahin Martha ligiban namune. Luto nahin ko to tabi hira hin rumah gaba lahai be friend ra. Lawgale dile. Chilu tira na nayano nakuta tumo wino buli ni malawul banayin nito. You know? Busi lahai be ra yan. Lumang gaba friend la dingno karo. Kigit la yabi. Yang subusi ni muti taha. Busi ba hadig ni hagaro. Hama busi ba friend ro. I could know the difference. In about that, I have 30 single mothers, a friend. Telling me about lady, I have to get Michelle. Telling me Michelle. You again, I'm a lot of pass. I have 7 had a friend there. You out of 30. So, how you by no Hadu Hagaro? No hello. Mate interest. Nu have I got my indoor and I got Lupe. I'm a class king. Got Lupe. Nu have I got them here. Hopkins got who was the next year? But we were again had again Turkey. I could tell that they were intolerant. Lu friend of the Gabu. I think a balance. Lo Hanson Hagaron. Lo Haiti. I know the difference. I know them.
So what did you know, y'all? Maremo had the tibu or so what did you know? Guala bichuguni besamina le barita gube luago aruma hani luma abay mahani.
Abay mahani.
Barita gube luago aruma hani luma abay mahani ba.
Subusi could make difference leader. Aruma hani, abay mahani, adigra hani, wanarawa, punta, chuguchu, kaya, dalawa
Chumba.
Na, pwede na hiya ba next? Lala po bita hani bukuli ita. Gunjay. Sambay.
La diga lago yendo ya ho. Lago le suni abay mahani la diga aba dele hargit ni ugria hahabo abate habay maha pero subuti no haremo hela lago le hasig. So abida tem que bom haga garuma hade tem da.
Namule. Aba hama unai ubunu badru unu yaba tai tema habu buido kayato lili sapata. Gato baritina pit nu ibaga libele. Aya ta ya uri abo lili gata ma hagu lili yagra yu himul hiu ni. Oh. How am baya gata ke lene ngi bu. Aba hari hat lo bawa sa la bahide chawo bu lo baya bidom. Especially in the school, Hasro Dago. Yeah. Hagi would agree on one by law had done the Hanua. I'd buy Hashawa and a warrior. Kay, I'm a lead through. I'm a mom balig and Nagla or Remole, Teremo Nugusino, Subuseto. Subuseto.
Ana algo down. Until the league. Subudit is Teremo Bada.
Garam what made that?
Yeah. Subudit is Teremo Bada Boom, Le Teremo Belago Yawaston. I will make a Teremo.
I get the bargain near. I need to be very. I need to be very.
Okay, so why are you today? Good?
La Madre, behaving the Mule. I ain't seen the ELAR beer. Susu pakai sendiri dah.
Sendiri man.
Uai ya. Skes ya.
Lu malawi?
Lah malawi ay. You know.
So ida lidi mabule tu bule basale tima ti dumo lila na
iramo. Bulina. But that I can remember. I sendiri larabia. Larabia. Ayah what you be no something like that.
Ayah what we be no. Okay,
but how about imagine I know should that time wala how either at hurt to that time. Ni halamtle taula sweetheart. Ayo to gelo. Ni me have da again. Let me endure that. Fall in love with it more to well to a Busente pone tiaba go senti dinner time. Mata pa hanu de também guindo no nushi. E bia também no nushi bom?
No, bia bushi no man.
Big structure.
Vamos no da. No, Lucas Miguel. Lucas Miguel. Frank.
You know Frank. I know he was structured. Hanu de tem no. No structure. Aba la ninga no reto la sweetheart. Que la ho la ara so no go. Aba tab no ko ni. La nego te la sweetheart tide. Amai na tel shai no go. Luti de mina la te chari. Ni indura. Chance mad me hele feel. Masami na no te mo lago tisandi la ma no go choli. La lagunda liga di speri di veda.
Okay.
Kau cari mungkin be, kabu itu beri de. Wo lugu sharan kasih wan hiu tu, elemen policeman lah. Di cakunan tahu nugu so. Ya hari ini semua dua lagi ni. Lebih itu gini, mama tu tu.
La diga, wait people me ya.
You know supposed to be the box na?
Yeah.
Ay, that's the box.
Apa ya kau
Na ina para uwad. Para uwad. No how it happened. I want an eternal for I was there for 2 years. After being vaccinated, I was around the race, but we bantes, you think they have a bamboo kaksaba. Later, I was make. Ama, actually, balis, ni dia laga trip balis, ni dia nagam ibe la box at Mikey. Dia make sabah, lum bit extra. I never here. I was selling you with a seven never to sell. Only to go come and see the fight. Actually, well, I'm not fine. Then 50 cents we get inside. I want no one, I want to make no one. Lega lagun long mean boat to show Mahati Victoria. Never that. I want to do bloody brother. Mama, I dropped the man. About Laywood. But the thing is, I was like smoke baby, you know, he never drunk at all. You get in a run, the ring there. I'm a lab me can't ligate it. I have a net in the box aluma to take up the fight. Ligate can. Well, I'm not like it, like do I'm a level when you lead a ring. I'm a lad on the bishop neighbor. I'm a bad lock can. But he never know that my brother is. Man nabala nagay na gud ka. Kasi make it neighbor. Aba ito nung wish ko lido ring. Well, yung lapar na gud. Knock right out. I feel it flow check like this. In the mind I feel my jazz tight. But I wasn't bad in my busy, right?
Yeah, it wasn't bad. Yeah.
But boxing, I'm not afraid. That's my main sport. Go to anytime Saturday and Sunday. That's always boxing. I like it.
Yeah.
kai hamuga me haga no mutu hara sun kate hadiga free gite lo hadiga ni arabu frume hachugo arabu ge diga tem free gi daga de teme daga de te la frume hita do mal habi sindwings lo bariso gamba na haya agushe yami baruru le hege gai mata hama tuni ya hama aba nanga but what me nofta what idan nanga mo what bidu ta ho ko be lagu boli you know so he lag what he be but lige me la ba english ni intention lo ho then la chirba kaso lana go ya ka lo ma lida go na barano ya lana go ba he gama na haya e bi de to haliyo ba ta ba gama na haya yami gama na haya tagura si ta bai ba gama yama lige te bai ha bedo ya gama na haya bi itale tra so na hi la bungi ha ma so na hi la bungi ha gama go na ya a chidwe ba tu ya indoro ai mai ge gibeti gel bai ka te bagari hu lagbi hu ama ha bita yeah gama na haya so hotel you know but busen met English la dira go ni wada ye lu wadra go ni ofia mafia ni ge bole ge be digu mafia ni ge bole gibeto geti ya ita wa ti ni haba namule le Cyril ito ko tu gila aba la menera basar bani basar biduni bungi mama ba mener le bidam be luago gali ge bungi bo wad meda ba fear suma dani hila bum na mata kala badig be bo luago baito ne hembe kele le dig be buga lige fero na da metlo itale men la fie you know Liabilige Moses la fille this is la fille mama ba manera do ba fille da bongi leo te be mener baito lige le baita ba hide ke busen aba la mener na leo lige la na lige ra shabe ha masala namule ya no gete hallo ya gafigo tanige la din hasiri dini ngam bungi wa ka negro na mamule ni gal ge la bisamna kala badig be gal ge le ita ma ga na mun gafiye ta pende me ga la bungi sunye hi no tayi gama goina haya le prume hade ne ring harvest sama le hema habu no ka te prume yibiti hedege rubelo Lida hafe, you know. What no Bible what for the man. Nya liane mun yo ragat na loma. Pero lama dumoy remind mo lo. Lengo no. Da lengo no. Ainga ne lo ni hala me lengo crystally la lidani. Ele na digbe. Leha hu wala mamula hawe mamula hawe he's no different from them who learn with the disciples leha dig hebe na dig ga hamata dig even low le awa lengo ba de murindo agamba me munele de me sembali na kai le akai le na ga te lo le ta kai le ya but apa go na go for na no ni apa legal name with Christ I malle mama li mengu no webebu lole radio ti baranda unsaga dati ma liga va seguir en mungeta más agata Cristo hilale ita wai no basigin mat sigin en matli chira sa gadu be le chido ba boba le chido bu lu bon even lige Chris bu sent be le do little langa lu le dale bi no lu kom lu la gumus la mission or what apa kata segugu de be le noi ida pero ba mama na haro maslidi ligit na signe bolos aga de la hilal la le dalo bidi la nega di bugu shile not gonna stop you not gonna stop you na fienteria it just my belief what ni kata de la to shile bo apa kata Chris le do dans lo eleme le lo lebe bo sient pe mama liga gumo de bari woni lugushi ita na fie so challenge mu te biga andi animal liga taba
brother
haliga kalile dagwas apa wana gufana na nimbo bebe penali ta gara na to woti niama le yidi be turi gara de tur le woni ha mi le bele amu ye won ha fie amu ye won na ha man sagu hagamu ni dumuri aba hasame ne te maybe this will get amu wasame la ba dumuri le yingo be but niama ha ne le be ngan friend in wood I have ha yidi be la widi ruma friend ro siago ginga tongo hongo tum vai de man tau abari que kate yibit no furau lo idere keselin lo baito logo bidu ke baito bo you know lo feru do bani gadum tipo lo bicho ko gini lo lamati you know we ligi bi ligi gufana yibit le suru mama most bayi no interpretation lo suruti le abile wa amulo ile confusion kelle be Christian lanu hatu heybe te nuru hatu menita katigi milo ile heyba go be lanu you know wa adma no taw garda taw negate confusing to that's why no be ligili sagay tamu ya tumu ya ba ya melisma yeme lebo bungi afara hongo
I want to do a thing to ani ge wasamina ani ge ago le lago garifuna lo larihinu bo ke ani hama frume gwaga girige terenchana lo harihinu bo kaso lao le harihi
hey over lige ni tan lige bane namule lige
okay okay ya wala di ma ha doa
busende de lo nabi so rahinu no buta hon lawo hala dile lige be bugu bane tuma lige ta mente ge bugu bane tuma ba ta find something ne to no ga on we ta was something that may remember na lo mo te ya sa rangi lo have lo friend you know
yeah
I don't like that
well saminat na ai hamuge be aya hen girige halu haruwe ha girige halu nage chutau lo hange hadunde hanie irahin ya lo kwala suwa la da aya hen irahin ya a friend lago badege lo te hamuge be ke ani la kate ya Dangriga lo kwala la winwa do le badege be ya lo gwara la chorubani bafai ruba la lago bidasi
la de nicha wate nungu
pero lo te bafai no ya siambe badigini le lago ni
nicha wate nungu be hongi
siambe digini le mos bafai no la diga itele le ibago dan ugun
gonde
mama me
came here before
exactly so
lido me ga dan li ya nabu no go mun to have te subesine
go ida go ade
ai ha bogo tia ai ha ibate mi bi mi te murise ai ibate wiwe
itele bari
gumu homona unity we
okay
ligete le meja te mo te ligete megi be wongo na and the things about politics
politics we don't want to go ya leader gudeme mama hangeti mos gudeme wa mala diga ni bande risiti risito mama la diga wagia watatia gudeme wada masensuru gute wata wagia gari
ama basa tambe no sensu
ma basa to me hala sensu la diga aba widara wongo
lido me dali na mule aba ne bi bo ge ni te arab na to tai nei ga boro nishiga hai
anute falo
ma you better believe that
anute fume kwa kate delivery here anu hatu bunya hudut
you better believe that kebe mo dali lige bala uro hati no gader hati seng hati lido me be sisi hati lahu ya hoya lido me sisi hati lahu ya hoya in June mid part me kumisa ya sis in June on lahu ya bi hoya de buto reba ya ketinho tina lo reba yinho aí sale udru yi no hiya mi ya morgo anu wa ya morgo lemen lahu yo he want to maybe wagi mo boyera he got to bega you know arrange me lida me ge dan le namole le tabo como bugu chugo to ya sengo ya dem ne dai tai gi lo video gi ni luoi diga chirut ai ngwento boido ari lida kop lo mire gubela
wow
ite me mo banga na mole mambo goto me exact ma with me grupo que se so da luoi diga chirut
aba wasame no haba chulura
haba chirut ai de wele no aboido wa legi ni
yeah okay